Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Market Insights with Linux, and welcome to this new video in which we are going to do a full update on STRATGY, previously known as MicroStrategy, of course. We're going to do a full technical update. I think in terms of the technicals, at this point of time, we are actually at a very, very interesting and crucial support zone, which it has been historically as well. And we'll talk about some fundamentals. And with fundamentals, what I mean is the current behavior or the current decisions made by STRATGY and what I expect from the crypto markets, which some of you might know that, and some of you that are just tuning in, you might say, no idea who you are. But I run a crypto channel first, right? And then I do this channel on the sides because I'm also interested in stocks, and that's and including STRATGY. But that makes that means that I have I'm keeping track of the crypto markets quite often. So generally, I have a bit of an idea of what to expect from that, or at least historically, I've been able to make money on that. So obviously, I'm not always right, but I do know a little bit about what's going on. So we'll talk about that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I wanted to start off with the fundamentals. I think it's good to talk about the fundamentals as to why I expect some bullish price action soon. Not necessarily from today until wow, that's okay. That's very yellow. Why I expect that soon? It's a mix of a couple of things. Okay, and fundamentally, I think what matters most when we're talking about STRATGY right now is the fact that I think their decision making in terms of scaling into Bitcoin has been pretty good over the course of the summer, right? Over the course of the summer, they actually did not do a lot of major buys. I think last week, for example, they bought about $50 million worth of Bitcoin. If you compare that to some of the buys they did over the course of the summer and last year as well, that is obviously nothing. And I think their average buy price at this point of time is still sitting around 74,000, which I can tell you, a lot of actors right now in the crypto space do not have an entry as good as that, right? So I think they've done a very good job at holding back scaling in. And they have started to scale in slowly and with lower amounts more recently. I think that actually shows a good understanding of the current market circumstances, when to buy and when to hold, right? And when to double down, when to scale in a little bit more. But outside of that, and what I think perhaps matters even more, is that I think Bitcoin actually has a pretty good chance to find a local bottom right here. Okay, Bitcoin has hit that significant level right here at 100,000. That is where we have the uptrend on the weekly time frame, which has supported us two times since October 2023. That was August 2024, then it was the bottom, and that was March 2025, then it was the bottom as well. And then we also, like that it's basically the combination between the weekly trend and the yearly rolling VWAP, which we also spiked down into, that is sitting around 99,000. So I think technically we have found a significant support zone. And then outside of that, what we're seeing is also more recently, some fundamental recovery, right? With the volatility index settling down a little bit, with the US government reopening. And in general, I mean, a lot of people are talking about an AI bubble. That is not what I see at this point of time. I expect equities to rally up higher, and those equities are very, very much positively correlated to Bitcoin and vice versa, which means that we have a strong technical support. We have fundamental reason to suspect a local bottom for Bitcoin. And what stock does that obviously help? It is STRATGY. Okay, and then we have STRATGY trading at a very, very low premium. The market cap right now for STRATGY is $68 billion. I think the net asset value of the Bitcoin they're holding is around 67 or maybe even $68 billion, while usually they're trading at a higher premium, right? So that premium is almost 1-to-1 in terms of their market cap and the Bitcoin they hold. And then we also have a technically significant support level right here around 235, which was also the critical support level. Well, it's between 220 and 235 to be fair, which was also the critical resistance level where we found resistance October 2024, what we broke out above at the end of October 2024, and what we held throughout March and April 2025 when we were forming a bottom. Okay, so we have a fundamental reason, multiple reasons to expect some sort of recovery for Bitcoin, which helps MicroStrategy indirectly, well, directly I would say as well. And then we technically have a very strong support level that we've been able to hold so far. Those reasons together make me believe that we can at least get a bounce right here. Okay, so when we're talking about a bounce, I expect a rally into 285, maybe $300. And then from there, I'll be back with a new update. We'll talk about, okay, how have the conditions, how have the markets developed, and can we actually expect a further continuation to the upside? Or did we get the bounce? Have we now hit the downtrend, as you can see, which is also sitting around $300? And are we going to drop down lower? But MicroStrategy, at least for me, is definitely a stock that I'm scaling into. So I'll keep you updated on that. That is what I think you need to know for now. Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care and bye.